Hey everyone, so I'm here in Wind Cave National Park in South Dakota for an overnight. Unfortunately, we'll not be doing any cave tours because they are replacing the elevator system that goes down to the caves this year, and all cave tours have been canceled for the season. So, but there's still a nice top side to the park. Lots of like rolling prairie land and gopher, prairie dog towns and trails you can hike, and so I'll be checking some of that out tomorrow. But um, in the meantime, I'm at the Elk Mountain Campground, which is the only campground in the park, and it's getting near sunset, and like the rolling hills around the campground is really beautiful in this kind of evening twilight. The campground's just over there, but these rolling hills around it are really pretty. Um, yeah, so tomorrow I'll be checking out a little bit of Wind Cave and uh, going up into Custer State Park, which is immediately to the north. Like they actually share a boundary; they're neighboring parks, so that'd be cool. Um, yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, look at his ears. That's a mule deer.
So it's about 11 o'clock at night, and I was just getting ready to go to bed in my tent. I could hear the coyotes howling in the distance. Like as soon as I got my tent, oh, it's crazy. It sounded like there was a couple of them. Been hearing coyotes a lot on this trip. It's pretty neat. Plus, we saw that buffalo that you saw the clip of. Just a lone buffalo, no herd. He was kind enough to pose with the sign for a second. Yeah, that was pretty neat. I'll do some adventuring tomorrow, but right now I gotta get some sleep. It's been another long day. All right, so I'm just a short walk from the visitor center at the natural entrance to Wind Cave. This is where the cave was first discovered back in the 1800s, and it's it's pretty neat because the cave is actually breathing out today. So there's a hole right here, right down in here, and the wind is actually like pouring out of this. Just to kind of show you what it's doing. This is all coming out of this hole in the ground from the cave. So depending on what the pressure is outside, it either breathes in or out. And there's a lot of airflow coming out right now. Um, and it's like air conditioned. It's really cool. Literally, it's probably like 60 something degree air coming out of it. So neat. So, didn't get to go in the cave, but kind of stuck my hand down in there. I can only see a couple feet. It's not very far down. Um, but so based on the airflow movement in and out, the volume of air that's moving. They estimate that of the 160 miles that they've discovered is only 10% of what's actually down there, based on the airflow. It's crazy. And there's a lot of native prayer cloths around here too. It's sacred land to the native Lakotas. Yeah, so that was the natural entrance to the cave. That's what was discovered, I forget the year, I think it was in the 1800s. Yeah, and that little hole leads to over 160 known miles of passages, and which is crazy because it's like so many miles of cave, and they've only just literally just scratched the surface. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Glad I got to at least see that. So this is by one of the pullouts along the road we're on our way up to Custer right now. There's a lot of really nice pullouts. This place has it's a weird beauty to it. Like, there's nothing really dramatic, but it's very pretty and serene. I like it here. Alright, so we're on one of our last stops in Wind Cave. We're heading up the Rankin Ridge Trail, which leads up to a fire tower lookout, and also the Park High Point is supposed to be up there somewhere. So, although I'm primarily a state high pointer, I do occasionally do the odd national park high point, and this one seems fairly accessible. So yeah, the air temperature is actually pretty nice, but the sun is just so much harsher here than New York. Of course, we're up a lot higher, a couple thousand feet. Yeah, the sun is just cooks it. Alright, so we made it to the top of Rankin Ridge. You can see the fire tower behind me, and spectacular views out to the east, this way. So I believe this is the high point, somewhere underneath the tower. I didn't see a marker, but I also don't see anything higher than where I am right now, or just, a few feet this way. That's a gorgeous day. It's not too hot, except for the sun beating on you. And awesome views. Let's see, over this way somewhere is the Buffalo Gap. I saw the signs for Buffalo Gap National Grassland or Forest. And yeah, so the gap looks like just an actual gap in the ridge line that goes across the horizon here. Imagine that's where the buffalo would have migrated through or something. Cool. Although I didn't find a USGS marker for the high point, I'm counting it. I don't get that persnickety about it, so cool. Check off another high point. Alright, so we're getting ready to leave Wind Cave and going to Custer. And the two parks actually do share a border. So there's a sign saying, "Welcome to Custer State Park." And on the other side, "Welcome to Wind Cave." So we just came out of Wind Cave. Really cool visit, even though we couldn't do the cave tour. But I've never been to Custer State Park before, so this will be cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what's here.
She's got a nice view. Attacked?
They might be.
It's on their ears.
Alright, so we haven't caught up in a bit. We got into Custer and drove around the wildlife loop road. Saw some couple pronghorns, and then we got onto some of the dirt roads that go into the interior of the park and came across that massive buffalo herd, bison herd. That was really cool. Stopped for a while, and they were kind of blocking the road a lot and coming up close, but never showed any signs of aggression, so we weren't too worried. And now we're on our way to the campground, and we're taking the Needles Highway, and there's these really cool formations that you can see along the route. It's a really twisty, turny road, as you've seen, and then you get these things, the Needles. Apparently it's a big rock climbing place. We stopped in the visitor center and they had stuff about rock climbing. Yeah, I'd love to come here and rock climb this. It looks fun. Alright, so we finally made it to Sylvan Lake Campground in Custer State Park. We finished the Needles Highway. That was really cool, driving up through those towering rock formations. We stopped on the other side of that one tunnel, and there were some rock climbers. And so I was watching that, and there were some other people there watching too that weren't climbers at all. So I was able to kind of tell them what was happening a little bit, since I've got my experience now with Devil's Tower. And yeah, it was a good day. Finally got a shower after 3 or 4 days, which was awesome. And tomorrow we're heading for Black Elk Peak, which is the high point of South Dakota. The trail starts here in Custer, just down the road a little bit, but I'm going to make that its own video. I'm just going to keep this one as Wind Cave in Custer. So yeah, just wanted to wrap things up, and I'm going to head off to bed, and I will see you in the next one.